Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and in today's video, I'm going to be making some frame rail replacements for the upper frame on my E30 325iX. So if you guys saw my other video on the frame rail replacement, we did the bottom frame rails here, the standard ones, with the Turner Motorsport kit. And then on this one, I had to add in some angle iron because there were some extra holes up in here, and I just bolted it all together. And as you guys know, this car is extremely rusty. So all of this as well was pretty bad. As you can see on the other rail here, I've already cut out everything and I'm ready to do welding, but there's all the holes and everything in there is pretty rough. So I decided to extend the frame rails up and make it so at least this is safe and structural again. Now what's nice about these is the subframes are aluminum, and the corrosion, because the frame rail kind of moves up right here. You can see it on the other side, I'll show you better. But because the frame rail kind of moves up there, there's not really a lot of corrosion that actually gets in to here. So all of this is still good as far as I know right now. If anything happens, we'll take the subframe off and weld this up too, but usually the corrosion stops like right around here, and these are double layered. So you could see in here, there's another frame rail that's pretty torn up, but it's thicker metal. And then there's all of this skin on the outside here that runs everywhere else. So what I did was I basically copied what Turner did with these repair kits. And I took some angle iron. I have two 2-inch by 2-inch pieces and fitted them up to one piece weld onto here. So you can see I've already done the driver's side, and I'll have a time lapse of this at the end of the video, you know, figuring everything out. So you can see here, this is one piece of angle iron that I went through, just put a slit in here and then bent it to the shape I needed. Of course, welded everything up all throughout. And then what I did was I have this piece of angle iron, and it runs to about here. You could see the welds from the inside. So that gives a lot of structural rigidity. And then I took another piece and did the same thing on the inside. So in here you could see, same thing, the angle iron runs all the way up, and it's one continuous piece all the way down, and then I just welded it in right to the frame rails that Turner supplied. So this is how I'm going to be doing this side as well, the same setup. And this side, there's only a couple different nuances. So it should be in the time lapse, but basically how I made these was I just took the angle iron, figured out the angle I needed to by just trial and error, and then cut the slit to bend it. I had to notch out where the control arms go, and we'll be making a piece for both sides at the end of this video to make them good as well. I got really lucky that on the car here, both of the mounting points on the driver and passenger side had no issues with the control arms. They mount all the way to the floor of the car. And there was no rust or anything in there once I cut all the metal out. So I got super lucky there. All we have to do is extend the actual flanges so everything bolts back up. And here's what the frame rails look like. So it should also be in the time lapse, but I went through and I put one side on. This would be the side I put on first. I just put 2 tacks on it and then fit the other side up, and then weld that on the bottom. And now I take it back off the car, I cut those tacks, and then I weld the inside here, and then of course the outside. And the reason I did that with the angle iron, leaving it the full 2 inches instead of making it 1.5, 1.5, because the frame rails are 3 inches wide. This way I can put a weld in here, and then I don't have to shave it down. As long as I don't get up on top of this metal, this will just still sit flush right with the bottom of the frame rail on the car. So I can get a lot more rigidity that way. And then of course on the bottom, same thing, just do standard welding. So the only thing different with this arm that I had to do was add these little plates here where the 2 inches wasn't enough. There were some extra holes in the frame that were just peeking above this, so I had to add in some of these so I can weld up around that too, so there's no holes anywhere. And the only other change I made was I made this hole on the bottom here for the control arms to come through. I made it a little bit wider so I can put a plate in here with the extensions on it. On the other side, the plate's gonna have to be a little bit smaller, and making it bigger like this is a lot easier. Just to go over some dimensions in case you guys are wanting to do this yourself, the actual piece of angle iron you're gonna need is gonna be 17 3/8 long, and then you're gonna wanna cut it. All these cuts are the same at 7.5 on the short piece where the control arm mounts to, and then you just bend it to the rest. Do trial and error with the bending. I can't give you an accurate angle. What I can do is tell you that it's about 15/16 from the tip here to the tip here after the bend, but I'd always go to your car, bend it, make sure it fits right, and then bend the other piece to the same thing so they fit together nicely. And then in here, again, I made this one oversized, but what you're generally going to want to do is come in 3/4 from one side and then the other side. So this would be the inside where like the motor is over here. I made this one oversized, so it's 1/2 inch there, but generally it would be 3/4, 3/4, and then the whole thing is 1 inch. So you'll see what I'm going to do after with a plate that goes in here. So making it a little bigger isn't an issue. I also went through, I didn't show it in the time lapse and I probably won't show it here, but after everything is welded up, I did put some spray paint on the inside here to keep it from rusting, as well as on the bottom of the frame rail. Before I actually go to put the rails on, I'll just spray paint the bottom and on the inside here just to try to prevent future rust. And I also should put the disclaimer out there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional. I just know that this will be strong enough to work. And it's not like I'm gonna be racing this car or doing any kind of rallying. It's just gonna be my daily driver. And I just didn't want it to fall apart. So I know boxing like this, even if this isn't the strongest material, will be fine. So that's how we're going about doing it. But if you guys were doing any kind of racing, you might want to add even more rigidity. Time will tell in the future if any of the welds crack or if things shift. I'll probably make a video on fixing it, so then you will know. But for now, I know this will be strong enough. All right, the frame is all welded up. You can see I weld the outside and we do the inside as well. And because of how we overlap them, this should be able to just fit right up on the car. So next step is just going to be putting it on and tacking it up and welding it. And like I mentioned before, I do paint up a little bit of the frame on the inside there, you know, as much as possible. I don't go too crazy because I don't want it to catch on fire, but just something that does help. You can see I just sprayed up the middle there, nothing crazy, just so it prevents a little bit of rust from happening in the future. All right guys, so the frame rails are all welded up now. So the last thing we're gonna do is make the plates for where the control arm's attached to. And I got these little spacers here, 1/2 inch by 5/8 by 1 inch. We won't be needing the whole inch, I should be cutting them. But what we're gonna end up doing is taking some angle iron and then cutting it. As you can see in this one here, I'm gonna cut up through here, cut along here, and then these holes here, I'll be boring out to put these spacers in. These will extend the actual spacers that it has right now for where the arms attach. So down here you can see these stick out. These are this measurement here, the 1/2 inch by 5/8. When the control arms come back around in here, these press into those. So right now it wouldn't do anything. So what we're gonna do is make a plate to extend these. And the way I have it laid out here is because of the differences where this one is lower than this one. I'm actually going to run the plate on the inside here and run it all the way out to here. That way I can weld the plate on around here and then also right to this here. So this is what I came up with here. It's just a piece of angle iron I cut down like you just saw, and then I put these spacers press fit into it. Now we are going to be welding these on the back and shaving it down, and then on the front as well and sanding it. So if you need to go bigger, if the holes don't line up, you can, and we're welding them anyway, so it doesn't matter. But other than that, I have this so it just fits right in there. And now we're going to chop the spacers down. So the stock spacers stick out 1/8 of an inch, and this is 1/8 inch thick steel. So we're going to need a 1/4 inch total on the spacers to have them still stick out 1/8 but also be flush with the bottom. The next step is going to just be test fitting them. So I got them all press fit in, and then I just put some bolts in here to see and just make sure everything fits. There is some play, of course, because these are the right size, so they're not exact fit and they're made to be like that. So you do have room to move it around and the bolts will still screw in, but we're just test fitting it to make sure it works. And now that I know it works, we can start to do all the welding on the front and the back, and then we'll come back, put bolts back in again, and weld it right to the actual frame here. Also, just looking at it here, if you put these in where, you know, how these are going to attach, you can see it sits perfectly flush and there is no wiggle room at all. So instead of welding the front and then sanding it, it'll just never be flat. I'm only going to weld the back and then sand it flat. This way it's still welded, but that way it can also sit perfectly flush. So here's the back. This one I just started to sand down. I'm going to see if it's going to be all right. It's pretty close, but it's not, you know, perfectly flat. We'll see if it works or not. And then this one I haven't sanded yet, and this is how I welded it, just a little some tacks all the way around, and then we'll just get off the high spots, get it as flat as possible. All right, so the next step, now that we're all sanded up, is going to be to actually weld them right to the frame. So here you can see what I'm going to do. I put in 2 bolts. These are holding it right, you know, in the stock location now. Also, if you need to do it this way and you're using all the same measurements I am, the bolts to get it flush like this are going to be M10 by 1.5, 30 millimeters long. So this way, the way we have it set up, which this was unintentional, but it worked out really well, is this will all weld up flush, and then I can get a nice bead coming around the side here so I can weld up the entire thing, and that shouldn't get into the way of the control arm when it mounts to it. Now the driver and the passenger side are both all done. I welded them all up. I did check against the control arms, and what we are going to have to do is this weld here, just this top one, it's too close to the actual holes on both of them, the driver and the passenger side. We're going to have to sand that weld flush. Everything else should be okay though. So after sanding now, here's what it looks like. I had to shave down the top and the bottom on this one. And I went and got the passenger side as well. As you can see, the arm, I just put it on there as well, so everything fits up perfectly. And on this one, I had to grind the top and the bottom and the edge as well. So no big deal, it was just some sanding, and everything works perfectly now. So all the holes line up, everything's all set. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.